Man, I got a lot of fucking hair sometimes.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? How y'all doing on today? What's up, good people? We hope y'all are ready for an amazing show. We're calling it the King's Court. We're going to let the Kings talk to you on this morning. Hi, everybody. If this is your first time joining, I'm your girl, Candace, and this is my sexy husband,
Ramon.
And
hold on real quick. You always say this is my husband, and you will say my name. Now all of a sudden you looking for me to say, why are you switching?
For those that are new to the show, this is how it go down sometimes. You know, we're very unorthodox, spontaneous, and you just never know. You just never know. So, y'all, we got a good show for y'all on today. I guess I should have let our little introduction come on and all that. We just, you know, we just make it do what it do, how I do on Saturday morning. What up, Crystal? So, y'all, this show is really important to me. To us, I'm gonna say. And we're gonna pay some bills in just a few minutes, but it's really not uncommon for society to try and give God's union like some God created a bad rap, and I'm talking about marriage. And encouraging others not to do it, speaking against it, and sometimes it's married folks or people that have been married and no longer are married. So I personally think the focus should be on the individual, not the marriage union, but y'all as an individual, y'all couldn't work it out, or y'all chose not to figure it out, or y'all habitually didn't love or respect your spouse. So don't put a dim light on marriage. Right. Let's talk about the individual people that was in the marriage. I think somebody said that on one show. It's not love that's hard, it's the individuals. I think that was Latoya that said that. You don't remember? I know you don't. That's okay, baby. So we're gonna talk about it. This show today is gonna be the antidote to all the naysayers. But we're gonna do it a little different today. We're gonna be guests on our own show on today. All right, y'all. Hey, and y'all make sure y'all share the video if you have not shared the video. So when we come back, things are gonna be just a little bit different. So are y'all ready? Y'all ready for a good show? Grab your spouses, wives, grab your husband and tell him to sit down so we can see if he sees what these kings see. All right, we'll be right back.
This show is brought to you by We Will Win, where we help couples transform their marriage from unhappy and surviving to a power couple that's thriving. We Will Win also supports that individual that wants to evolve into a better version of themselves. Book your free session today at www.wewillwin.as.me. Never settle for less. Always strive for the best.
It's a new level.
Hey, are you ready for the first ever Married Chicks Conference that's about to go down? You don't want to miss it because we are about to pour into you and love on you because you deserve it. And trust and believe you're going to leave on a new level.
March 26th, Married Chicks Conference in Baltimore, Maryland. Married chicks, engaged chicks, chicks in relationships. It's going down. We covering everything. Do not miss out, because you will be sorry.
Hey, are you ready? Because we are. The Married Chicks is ready for this conference. Let me tell you something. Get ready to laugh, cry, dance, reflect, and really leave so different than when you came. Peace.
So excited!
It was exciting.
Let's get it.
Hi! Oh my gosh, it's turned over to me. Look at this. Thank you. I am Sophia Cox, and I have the privilege of being the host on the Couples Lounge. So we are here. We're in the King's Court, right? That's what we calling this, the King's Court, with Ramon and Vernon Moore. Okay. All right. So, Venice, would you like to introduce you guys?
Sure. Hi, I am Venice Moore with Embracing Your Difference, along with my handsome husband, Vernon Moore here. And we just ready to talk with y'all, chop it up and, just talk.
Vernon, so do what Mon just did. You want to introduce me, say my name, and then look at me. Go, V.
I didn't show that though, because it was already there. Look, that's why I was quiet. I was like, I'm not even gonna jump on and even try to say my. I'm gonna just let that whole thing go here right now. Yeah. I know it's not my time. Be switching up on me, man.
I was waiting for it. I'm not gonna lie. Your personality is set up like so. I wasn't sure, so I did it for you. But thank you, Moors. So this is such a privilege, right? So in the King's Court, I do have a question for the wives first. Like Candace just said, that there's been sometimes a negative connotation about marriage, especially in our culture, from it doesn't work, Black men don't want to get married, it's always going to end kind of thing. What would you say, and I'm going to start with you, Candace, what would you say are the benefits from having a wife?
I'm going to say that and I've been reading Proverbs a lot here lately. Based on the word, is that we bring a balance. We bring wisdom to our husbands. Like God has assigned them the role of being the lead. And as the lead, you need a support. And so it's like we see things that they don't see. We feel things that they don't feel, just because of who we are as women. And then for God to say, I'm going to provide you a helpmate. So I just believe we bring that balance, that wisdom, that friendship, that it's like we are more than what your homeboys can be. So we that and some. So it's like you get a whole package when you have a wife. You got somebody that can be your best friend, and it's somebody that got your back when don't nobody else have your back. So I will leave it at that. And we bring harmony to your life. We bring that shoulder, that softness. So yeah, I'll leave it right there, and I'm gonna pass it on to Vin.
Yes.
Well, you pretty much said everything I was gonna say. Like, it really is a sense of peace that we bring to these men's lives, a level of cohesiveness to the home, just that softer side in regards to co-parenting, if necessary, if you do have children, a partner that you could always bounce things off of, no matter what. Like, at the end of the day, you have your person there where you could really just let it all be, and with a wife, you don't have to always prove your manliness like in the world.
Yeah.
We talk about how, especially right now within our culture and society, like, men just have a lot, standing up against them. So when they get home, to have that sense of peace and the presence of a woman who is, like Candace said, your best friend, but then also your lover too. You know what I mean? To be able to have that person that you could consistently just be with, it's a sense of peace and harmony.
Yeah. I like that. So we about to remix this, because the women, them wives, they could talk and they feel confident in who they are. Y'all kind of going on mute for a little bit now, and I'm bringing it just to the men. And I'll start with you in this question, Vernon. You heard what your wife just described as the benefits of having a wife. Do you feel that those are the same benefits? And if not, what are some other benefits you feel are?
Well, yeah, and I think not just what my wife said, also, the things that Candace pointed out too. Balance is a big part of relationships, and basically with all of those things kind of equal up to is balance. As men, our day-to-days, obviously our day-to-days are different in kind of our mind frame and how we move and perspective wise and all that. And so you need that balance. You need that softer side. You need that calmness, in the storm and all that. And, I think that's a big part of, without going too long and saying too much, because, you can talk about this for forever. But I think that's really what all that boils down to is they bring a sense of peace, a sense of calmness. to our lives and in situations, or obviously on a day to day, but especially in situations where, we may feel like, we have to, be that, have that bravado, be that, be that tough, be that, that protector and all that stuff. But, to have somebody who, who supports that, obviously, and allows you to be that, but also, gives you an opportunity, to have a softer side and to, to kind of open up and communicate and all that stuff that, we may not always like to do. So yeah, I do agree, very much so with both my wife and Candace said, for sure.
Yes, yes, yes. What about you, Ramon? How would you add to what's the benefits? I love you guys. What's the benefits of having a wife for you?
Um, it's real simple. I look at it like everything all three of them has said. The women are simply a gift. God gifted y'all to us. Um, and y'all such a powerful gift to where if we harm or cause if we harm this gift, our prayers will be hindered.
Mm. Say that again and say the
If
little.
That's
we
what I'm saying. Say it one more time. Say
You
it
know
one
how
more
like the
time.
iPhones or
if
the
we
Android got the
harm
slow mo. I want that in slow motion,
if
Ramon.
we harm the gift that is called woman, which is our wives, our prayers will be hindered. And that's in the scripture on at least two occasions. So that's how powerful, how blessed we are to have a wife, to have women in our lives. Um, like they said, the softness, the peace that y'all bring, just y'all words can have us want to scale Mount Everest. Y'all word will have us to go to war with any and everybody if need be. So that's how important having a wife is for us.
I like that. I like that. And
Good answer. Good answer.
you know, hopefully there definitely is some men who joined us because that's so powerful for men to hear of all nationalities, because sometimes people feel like this marriage is going to be this chain and ball, like I'm not going to have no freedom anymore. But to hear that she is a gift, or that spouse is a gift, I think that's powerful for people to hear. So I'm gonna stick with you, Man. Keep it going. What are some strengths, or as you could put it, as a win in your marriage that has been something that has come clear to you in 19, almost 20 years of marriage? Like, this is what we good at. This is what we found. This is our niche. We rock this area. What is that?
That we rock. What do we rock, baby?
It's on you.
Yo, put them on mute. They out.
No, man. We're good at coming together. One thing we've done here recently, if we have a disagreement, we can come together later and discuss it. To where when you were younger, we would get upset and had a silent treatment, not really talking. You mad for a day or two, I'm mad for 2 days, and you just being stupid. I got to be honest, we were kind of young and stupid. That was us at
it's
one
the
point.
couples lounge. You know how y'all give it up. Come on.
We got married young. But the camaraderie we have, we're actually on the same team. And when I mean that, I say that I mean neither one of us is fighting like we're on a different team, if that makes sense. We truly understand we're in this together. Our parenting styles are different. We have learned to agree to disagree. That's one thing we have really right. I learned to agree to disagree. You're not going to agree on everything. You're not going to see eye to eye on everything. But
because we are different in a lot of ways.
I thought she gave the.
Okay. We got a tech. I don't have a.
So what do you do when those moments you agree to disagree? How do you do it? And we've learned how to do that and get past the hard times and not let it linger, and not stay mad for a day, for 2 days, for 3 days, and then in the trickle on down. That's one thing we have gotten good at right there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. All right. So Ken, you unmuted.
Ma'am.
I want you to add to that, right? Like, cause that's huge. That's a win in itself.
Yeah.
People, and not even in relationships, people struggle with being okay with my opinion was heard, but we disagree with that. So how has that felt to hear your husband acknowledge that has been a win for y'all?
That's good to acknowledge that part, because it's like you said, communication is big, and for us to be able to get to that point where we can agree to disagree without trying to be in this tug of war of I want you to see it my way, like not just this, I want you to agree with me. That's where it come in. I want you to agree with my way. I do still need you to see it my way, but we're at a point now where we don't have to agree with each other, and that's where a lot of the tug and the fight came from. So it's good to hear all that he said, that he feels like that we are winning with now. Definitely those things that were definitely a struggle for us early on.
Yeah. Now, would that have been the win or the strength you chose?
I think I would have chose some of what he said, but then too, I feel like we are really good at being friends, like best friends. Like, this is my dog right here. Like, when we go out, we know how to have a good time together. I always say we are the same person, just in a different body, so to say, like personality wise.
Let me say this. I got to
it's not you.
I said what I said because it's easy in the good times to point out strengths and all the things that we do well. But when the bad time comes, because when you're married, every day is not a happy day. I don't want to lie to nobody that's listening that ain't married, that you're gonna be happy every day. There's some days I don't like this woman. There's some days she don't like me. If we being honest, I love her, but some days I don't like her. Now I ain't gonna even lie to you. But how do you handle those days? Are you respectful? Can you fight fair? Or can we agree to disagree and move forward so we're not angry, mad 2, 3 a weekday, a week later? That's why I pointed out as the strength, because in our past we were really kind of stupid till we would be mad.
Don't include me in that.
Baby, you were stupid too. You were mad at me for 4 days, 3 days. We walking around and not speaking like roommates. And that was childish of us.
Y'all was stupid together. Take that, Candace.
But 19 years in, we can fight and argue respectfully and not let it linger and move on the next day like ain't nothing ever happened. So that, to me, that's why I said that's a strength.
Yeah. I mean, and what's amazing,
I know, I just wanted to point it out.
Yeah, no, what's amazing, 20 years in, it's good to have multiple wins. So one win is that, being able to agree to disagree. And then another win, and I'm sure there's more, is just having a solid friendship.
Man.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. I want to be your friend. Like, I want to be your friend even if I don't like you, because we have friends that we don't like, right? But I still can be open with you. There's the loyalty still there, the respect is still there. So that friendship, that's it. Moors, tell me, Vernon, what is that win? What's that strength? What do you rock at? What do the Moors rock at?
A lot of things, first and foremost.
Hey, come on.
I like it.
But no, we joke, and I'll shoot this out to you. There was a time where we used to call the Coxes the big family. We have now caught up to the big family.
Exactly.
We deep. So, with that comes a lot, man. And we got our kids are all different ages and different stages of life, but for the most part, they're all active. And obviously, we're active too. We're doing what we do for our own personal lives. So one of the things that we definitely rock at is this life thing, this children thing. you know, this parenting thing. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? It's very easy to get kind of lost in the day to day, in the routine and the mundaneness, and miss each other. And I think one of the things that we've done a really good job at in the midst of this children thing is still staying connected, and still, like Ramon and Candace said, like still trying to like each other. Because that's a good point, man. And I think that's one of the biggest things that couples got to realize. Like, if you really in this thing, you know what I mean? Like my wife says, this forever thing. But if you really in this for the long run, like, you're not going to like somebody every day, especially somebody that you see every day. Like, that's just not realistic. But the bigger part is, on the days that you don't like that person, you still got things to do. Like, there's days I don't like her, but the kids not going to sit in the house and just sit here and watch us not like each other. They got to go to school. They got to go to their activities. They got to do their things. And we run a business together. So the business still got to run. So if I don't rock with you at the house, I still got to rock with you at the office. Yeah. And sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's not always like, hey, baby, kiss me. Nah, some days it's like, yo, just stay in your office. I'll stay in mine. But
treat not just like a coworker, like a coworker. How you doing? Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Exactly. Nod your head, keep it pushing. You feel me? I turn my little air joint on so nobody can hear me. She turn hers on.
Your noise canceller. Okay.
Yeah, the noise canceller, the noise reducing. We ain't. I'm all set with you. But the reality is, you know, we do a good job of, even in the midst of that, like making sure that the bus don't stop. You know what I mean? Rolling. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we both have had our moments, and kind of reflect on what Ramon said, like, you know, stupid moments, petty moments, you know what I'm saying? Moments where, you know, you match an eye for eye. Oh, well, yo, you, all right, that's what you want? Here I go too. You know what I mean? And you know, when you're not trying to work through and trying to be on the same page, and understanding that some things got to be bigger than your little pettiness or your little attitude or whatever, you know, things get stuck. And like they both said, it don't make no sense to be arguing 2, 3, 4, 5 days, getting into a week. You know what I mean? Somebody sleeping on the couch or in the basement. You know what I mean, I remember I used to say all the time, I ain't never sleeping outside my bed. And then I got married and realized I ain't like her. And I was like, yo, the basement cool. I got everything I need down there. It's a fridge, it's a TV, pool table.
And it's pretty quiet
down here. It's quiet. And the kids don't even know I'm here. Right. That's good. But that doesn't work for the household. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't work for the whole. And you know, keeping that in mind, and just trying to stay connected, and trying to, like I said, stay friends. And again, that friendship doesn't mean that we're gonna like each other every day, but it does mean that, hey, we got to understand in that it can't stay like this. You know what I mean? And we have to move through this, and we have to move through this as we still continue the daily routine. Because again, just because you got an attitude with me or I got an attitude with you, don't mean the day stops.
Don't stop.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I think that's one of the big wins for us is obviously this parenting and kids thing, and keeping the Mohegans moving and all that. But, you know, staying connected and still trying to like each other and stay friends as we keep that thing going. Because it could be really overwhelming if you don't stay connected with your partner.
Yeah. And, you know, just for the listeners to be able to understand the dynamics of the Moore, they are 6 deep. What is it? 3, 6, 9, 14. I hit that?
Yes. Yep.
Woo! Bless they hard.
Right? And the 3 is 3. The 14 is 14. Like, classic.
6 is really 6. You know what I mean? 9 is really in the middle. You know what I mean?
9 think he 20, but 9, right? So I just want y'all to hear that piece when they're saying that that's one of their wins, and how there's so many moving parts there, you know? So that's dope to hear. Venice, what would you add to that? Would that be one of your big wins as well? And if not, what would that be?
Yeah, that's definitely the first win. Outside of what we've had to endure, and how we have learned to be okay with, you know, just coming together despite what we had gone through, pretty much. So the biggest win is how we manage our household and our business, and how we have continued to stay connected in such a way where we actually want to be around each other. We want to have our time together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can I just say real quick to piggyback off that real quick? Like, please, and again, speaking to the listeners and especially the men, like please don't get it twisted. Like we've been through it, and so to get back to that is just a testament of understanding. Like this is the long run. Like you gonna have. You gonna
Wait,
have
so
some
I want to cut you off, Vernon,
okay.
because there is a question that I'm feeding for,
I'll
and
leave it.
just knowing your personality, you bringing it right to where I want that. So I want you to pause right there for me real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
But you know one thing, ladies, I'm sorry, y'all on mute again. If not, a flag, okay? But bringing it to the men, you guys both said something that was just so honest and raw that I feel like the same way we do with parents at times. You don't want to just flat out say, I don't really like my parent. I don't really like, because it's this reverence that we hold. And hearing Ramon say that, you know, these wives are blessings and gifts, but to be honest and transparent to say, no, there are times that I don't like this person, right? But still love them. That reverence and all of that is still there. I have a question, considering life is slowly starting to reopen again, per se, right? How did y'all get through COVID? Because there were those first, and really I want you to attack that first 3 months, right? Because the 2 years has been a wave, right? We was outside, inside, outside, inside. But those first 3 months, there was really this quarantine per se. And of course, being in Connecticut and Texas and me in Maryland, it was different. But those 3 months, what was that like with that wife of yours? Ramon, go ahead.
It was rough. It really was. And here's why it was rough for me.
You better not say one thing. You better not.
Here's why it was rough for me. When COVID first hit, I hurt my back in the gym. I'm talking about it was hurt. Like I almost went through a depression. I kind of went through a slight one. Like I thought I was hurt and was going to be hurt forever. Like it was bad, y'all. I mean bad. And I made it worse. I can't lie. I made it worse. I would see my wife get out the shower and lotion up, and I'm like, I ain't gonna be able to touch this woman. I can't. I'm like, what? Oh my God. And then I would lose it and would get intimate. And she's telling, baby, what are you doing? Like I had to have her. And I made it worse. And so it was like, I couldn't move. I couldn't put on a sock. I couldn't touch my wife. I couldn't, sitting down was a problem. Standing up was the problem. I couldn't lay down. I was almost crippled how bad my back was. So that's why it was tough. And then I'm looking at my wife, and my wife was looking beautiful, and I couldn't even, like, no, I can't even touch you right now. So it was difficult for me because of that. If I wasn't hurt, it wouldn't have been as bad. But for those first 3 months, it was truly difficult again because I couldn't move. Like I was in serious pain. So it was difficult for that reason. But fast forward to 3 months, it wasn't as bad. My garage, I made like a little gym. So me and her are good about allowing each other separate our space. I could go to my man cave. I could go to the garage. She'll stay in the living room or the bedroom, watch TV, watch her little reality shows. So it was cool. Then we'll come together, watch movies and hang out. And she'll come out there. I'll smoke a cigar. So it wasn't bad for me and for us post-injury. Now, I can't lie. After a while, the walls started closing in on all of it. I just like, okay, we can't even go like nowhere. So that's how it was for me.
Got you. Okay. All right. So Vernon, what was those first 3 months like with the Mohegans and then the spouse that sometimes you just not quite rocking with? What were those 3 months like?
So I'm laughing because our first 3 months was completely different from Mom's first 3 months. Because we ain't like each other. So I ain't want to touch her. Like there was no her lotioning up, and I'm like, nah, we wasn't in that space at all. So I'm laughing because I'm like, I wish that's how our 3 months. I wish that had been the reason that we wasn't connected like that, because it wasn't that at all. Like my back was good, I was healthy. The only problem was emotionally and relationship wise, we was in a bad place at the time.
Yeah.
So, Mom, I love you, brother. I'm glad you back healthy. And usually I don't want to share people's injuries, but I wish I had a bad back like yours rather than what my circumstance was at the time. But no, just being honest, like, we was in a tough spot at the time, and it was a lot going on too. Like I had a situation with work where I had been suspended for some time on some nonsense and had just went back. And was trying to figure out what I was going to do with the work situation because, COVID was February going into March. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do, how I'm going to feel about the next school year. So I'm kind of beefing with administration. So that was one thing. And then obviously, the world is having what is going on and trying to figure out what the world's going to do. And I coach basketball, and basketball was going on at the time. So, it was a lot outside the house. And then in the house, our relationship was in one of the worst places, it could ever be. And it was my doing, mixed with some things from the past that had gotten stirred up again. So it was kind of scary. When you hear, and again, it's two parts. You don't know what's going on in the world. And again, just being honest, like none of us had ever been through anything like that before to actually hear like, yo, the world shut down. Like you're not going nowhere. You can't go nowhere. Stay in the house. So, that's one part. And just being honest, as a man, with the kids and even with the wife, like you want to have answers. You know what I mean? You want to be able to explain things to the household. And I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? So my kids are kind of baffled trying to figure out what's what and what the world is, and there's all these rumors, and can you catch COVID and die on contact, and you know what I'm saying? And kids, again, my kids all over the place with what they seeing, what they hearing, what their friends are saying. So you got that aspect, and then you trying to figure out, oh shoot, like the escape that I had really in not dealing with a lot of what we had going on was the fact that I could go coach, I could go to work, I could go referee. I could do a lot of different things. All that's gone now.
You got to face it now.
All day, every day. Like, ooh. And so, and again, not being honest, like understanding that a lot of this was I now have to face like my doings and my issues and have these conversations. And so it was weird. It was uncomfortable. It was awkward. And here's the reality too. You're doing all this while you're trying to save face in front of the kids, but now you got just the walls. You know what I mean? So, it really adds an extra level of issues because you don't want them to feel that. And you're trying to keep some sense of normality in their world as their world has completely flipped upside down. So you want to keep it, as cordial as possible for them. But the problem is the person that you usually rely on to help you do that, you not rocking with. Y'all not on the same page.
That's a whole nother
and that leads right into the question that I have, because clearly, 2 years later, you guys are sitting here and expressing the wins and the strengths of your marriage. Tell me specifically, as much as you can, a loss or L that you have taken in your marriage and God has turned that into a win for y'all. And I'm gonna stick with you, Vernon, because you've alluded to this disconnect and some issues that were going on. So I want to start with you with that.
Other women making bad decisions. You know what I mean? That just, just keep it 100. That's what it was. And I'll be honest, to anybody who's listening, like, and this is kind of to the point of the Married Chicks Conference and why we here is understanding, like, I wasn't ready to get married, even though I was convinced that I was. Like, it was different. It was different. So, realize it, like, you step into a whole nother realm when you say I do and you get married, and especially when you have wives like we have. And I'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's different. It's not, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all.
Not at all.
But it's different. And it's hard. So me getting outside of who I was as a person was very difficult. And I thought that when I got married, these certain things and thoughts and habits and things that I had would just automatically be shut off. And I could just continue to do what I've always done my whole life and just be like, yo, I'm me, so I got it. And that's the L I was taking, is you going into a marriage saying, yo, I'm me, I got it. I turn these things on and off, turned into, yeah, you don't have nothing. Like, you don't have nothing in control right now. Like,
Vernon, there was a quick glitch.
Oh,
there was a quick glitch. So I want you to just kind of restate that a little bit. The L that I took was me thinking that it was just going to be
I had this. That me being me was enough, and I'm good, and I'll just turn this thing off like a light switch, and I don't have to put energy into being somebody different. The only difference is she has my last name, but I'm good enough. All these things that I do is fine, and I'll figure it out, and da-da-da-da-da. And that led to Ails, because I wasn't considering my wife. I wasn't considering my children. I wasn't considering this union. And so, I was making decisions based off me and how I was used to handling things and how I was used to kind of coping with things and how I was used to, kind of bouncing back and even justifying the nonsense that I was on. And we took a lot of L's because of that. You know what I mean? And let me just make it clear, it's not just in actions of infidelity. So I don't want to make people think that. It was in how I was communicating. It was in how I was responding to things. It was in my defensiveness. It was in a whole lot of things that, again, were habits of how I had always dealt with people and managed things in the past that did not work for this specific union. And I took a lot of L's because of that. And having to realize that, like, who I am now talking to y'all had to be a different person than who I was before I said I do, and even leading up to all those days, after that.
So how would you sum up that God has turned? I mean, you saying it in itself, but how would you sum up how God turned that into a win for you? Not even just the marriage right now. How did God turn that into a win for you?
It allowed me to be more accountable and more humble. He allowed me to make my mistakes and still have an opportunity to make amends for them first and foremost. And then with that, allowing me to become more accountable and more humble and more respectful of my wife, of my relationship, of my children,
of yourself,
of myself, of who I am in the community. You know what I mean? Who I am to to anybody who comes in contact with me. And even to what we do, in our profession. Like, I can't sit in my chair and be supporting couples and supporting individuals, and then, walk outside and be backsliding and wilding and you know what I mean? It's just a profession, it's all good. So, he has turned this L into an opportunity for me to grow, and to be more humble and be more accountable.
I love that. That's powerful awareness. Venice, what would you say has been a L in the marriage that you have visually seen God turn it into a win?
Everything that happened prior to COVID, everything that Vernon just said, like, that was the biggest L outside of him having to learn how to support somebody through so much grief all at the same time. So that was the biggest L, and I think that was the win for us too, because it really challenged us both to look within ourselves in a way that we had never done, really. And I look at COVID, at least the beginning of COVID, even though it was really, really bad, that also, because of how full our plates are with our children, it reminded us of what we had. And COVID was bad, and we had a son in the hospital just as everything was happening. So we had no choice but to come together despite the turmoil and the horrific situation we had just gone through. And the first few weeks were rough, but I think we turned that into an opportunity to be more present with our children and our family. And then it allowed us to look at each other like, wait a minute, we can do this. We can try this. And then we made it a little fun until it was time to get back outside. And then it was a reminder like, oh, shoot, we was going through something bad. Because the first few weeks was horrible. But then we started having fun in the house. Like, we was like, forget the back stuff. We reconnected in a way until it was time to go back outside. And then it was like, wait, I don't know about this, you know? And so yeah, COVID and all of the stuff that we had gone through has been a blessing in disguise. Biggest loss, biggest win.
Well said. I do have like a little addendum, I guess we could say, you Venice, with that question, right? And this is important for the listeners to understand how someone else's choices could be considered an L, but then still can be an individual win, right? So here, Vernon just described infidelity, lack of communication, or just handling things in a certain way that just wasn't productive for his marriage was the L. How was that a personal win for you?
I don't know if we have enough time, but that's why you conference, like for real.
Say that again. It was a little glitch.
To this conference, I will try to do this in the most laser way as possible. The win for me is it really allowed me to look at me and choose me and be okay with choosing me and not looking outside of myself for joy, for happiness, for validation. I really had to go within in a way I had never done in my life, and it allowed me to really realize my connectedness to God, because God put all of this together because we were supposed to go through this, and I was supposed to go through this because I know that I was chosen in such a way to break a pattern. And that's all I'm gonna say. Y'all got to get the rest when y'all
okay. Well said. Ramon, tell me a L that God, you energetically, visually, mentally have seen it be turned into a win in your marriage.
Some of the same things. We've had some trust L's, communication L's, infidelity on my part L's, financial L's, spiritual L's.
God dog.
Let's go. They need to hear this. The listeners need to hear that you still could be.
But it's real. I'm saying, God dog. Yes, it has been. Yeah.
I've taken L's. But I think she was asking me on all these things. Got married at a young age, 25, not having the slightest idea what truly being a husband entails. I just thought you went to work, stayed faithful, and paid your bills, and that's what husbands do. And come to find out, it's a lot more than that. So I took a lot of L's. And like I said, the communication, the trust, all of these L's were powerful because they will break you and humble you in each and every way. If you can't communicate, don't know how to communicate, that'll destroy your house. And them L's was powerful. Finances, not trusting, not putting my wife and family first, still kind of thinking of me like I was when I was single. L's, like, man, what was you thinking? That was a humbling L. Being young and stupid and stepping out, that was dumb. That could destroy us all. That was a huge L. Not knowing what a husband is supposed to do, not realizing what God has asked me to do and to be as a husband, as a man, spiritually, was a huge L. God had slapped me on my hands a few times. And I'm thankful he didn't just slap me in the face. It felt like a slap on the face, but he really, when I look back, he really just touched you on your hand, because it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
A lot worse. So all of these were L's that has turned into W's, because now we can talk. I can pray. I can have a relationship with God. I do know what God is asking me to do. I can be committed and have been committed. So all these L's turned into W's. because it's got me here with this lovely woman now, doing the things that we're doing, when it could have and it should have taken me or us out years ago.
Well said. Well said. Candace, what would you add to that? And I want you to somewhat reframe it how I asked Venice, how, Ramon gave that list of those L's where you even looked up like, damn, we done hit some L's. And your husband has owned many of them or some individual stuff. How did some of his personal L's become God turning it into a win for you?
I'm like Ben. It causes you to look at yourself and shifting my confidence in myself. Like I'm gonna just start with the infidelity. Like, yo, like no. Like it just made me want to look at myself higher. Like I'm not gonna get in no stoop like what's wrong with me. I'm not going there. So it caused me to shift to see myself higher. And so I would say that was a win because I can go back and look at how I was. I always said I didn't have low confidence, but I didn't have high confidence, just like middle school, high school, college. But I would say I didn't know who I was. So I'm almost tend to lean on I did have some low confidence in there. So it caused me to have to start shifting within to walk taller, to know that it also gave me a sense of resiliency to go through the things that we have been through. So I would say God turned that around to show you your strength and to also increase my relationship with God because of the stuff I was going through. It's like, okay, it caused me to start getting in the word, start praying more. When you in them situations, you do tend to go to God, and your relationship with him, or my relationship with him was better or was made intimate. And I believe just looking at like all the things that he went through that got us at 10 years where we were almost divorced, that we went through and was almost at a divorce, to see that it turned it around for me individually, that I am intentional about working on me. Let me look at me first before I start pointing the fingers here. Let me look at me. Let me see what I can do better. And I also can hold him accountable too. So it's like, okay, well, how could you had handled that differently, Candace? So I would say just growth individually, first and foremost, is how God turned them around.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, I'm excited for this conference. Y'all gonna hear some more about it, but what I just heard both these women say, that in spite of anything that their partners had did, learning how to see themselves they grew, which then ultimately resulted in the marriage growing. Oh, yeah. That's what I heard. Okay. Yeah. Man, listen. Y'all need to come and get some of this work. All right. So with that being said, Ramon, I'm gonna ask you, these women here, including me, graduated from Innovision's Institute for Spiritual Development as spiritual life coaches. So they are clear who they are, right? Because the world, right? The world see them as different counselors, different coaches. Like they talk different, they walk different. But what have you guys seen different in your wives since that completion of that program?
For one, she has a deeper, more intimate relationship with God. There's absolutely no question about it. This woman relationship with God has gotten more deeper and more intimate. And it's scary at times. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just being honest. It's scary at times because mine is not. I'm just trying to keep it 100 on her, y'all. I don't have the relationship with God that she does. I have a relationship with God. I ain't a heathen now. Don't get me wrong. I pray. Me and God talk. We like this now. Don't get it twisted. But this woman and God, like, man, God loves this heifer. And they talk and they like this.
And they go together. They go together.
You got to be extra careful when your woman has a relationship with God like that. As a man, as a husband, you better be careful how you move, dog. Or hey, you dealing with something right here. And now she also looks within herself. Well, what she kind of just touched on it. At first, she would point the finger. Now, well, baby, you ain't. You forgot. You didn't. Now she looks at herself and comes back and analyze. Okay, baby, I could have handled this differently. And then she's more calmer. She's more peaceful in her approach to almost anything. And when she catches herself about to go,
ooh, what's that?
She literally does that. And I'm not kidding. She
take a breath.
She'll take a breath and she'll catch herself like, oh, she was about to go there, but God is working with her. He been talking to her. He done told her, Candace, calm the hell down. And she'll calm down and we can talk. And it's better because I can hear her more. As a man, if you want to come barking and I don't really hear you at times because that can make me get me going there. You don't, in my opinion, you don't combat your man that way. If you really want your man to hear him, don't go tit for tat. Don't get louder and don't get in your masculinity, if you will. Stay in your femininity. I got that from you, baby. Stay there and he can hear you.
Yeah.
And she has done that. You could definitely tell she's done the work for herself. And again, she's gotten even closer with God, more in touch with herself and analyzing her and her mistakes, her strength and weakness. She truly knows who she is now and what she wants and what she aspires to be more so than ever.
Woo! All right, Brandon, what you got? Who is your wife?
Vernon already said it's different being married to us.
It's completely.
Listen. This could go on, boy. Yo, go ahead.
Look, it's a it's a different thing, man. It's a really different vibe. Like mine said, like the connection first and foremost, and like I know he said it laughing, but it is real. Like it's something that because you witness it, you see it, you see how we've seen, you see where they started, you see what they go through, you see the process, and you see it kind of happening. And it's not just like in this Zen moment where like, they walk around with some kind of halo around, but you see it in the practice, you see it in the consistency, you see it in the way that they move, in the way that they talk, in the way that they do have that sense of purpose and confidence about themselves. I joke with her all the time though, like, yo, since you left that joint, you ain't never wrong. You ain't never wrong. Like your sense of purpose and you know who you are, like you ain't never wrong again. And so, we gotta, as men, we gotta understand that. Like, yo, her connection with God, let her know, like, I'm right. I feel this. Right. But the honesty is clear. Right, I'm clear. Like, nah, baby, you wrong. But I'm glad you clear about being wrong. It's okay. It's all right. We can work through that. But the truth of the matter is, it really, you see the connection with God. You do see the work in trying to be more accountable and focused on the space that she's in. And in her trying to be more aware of how she responds to things, and also in how she kind of hears me. Again, similar to Candace and mine, like, we've had our times where, you don't match me, like, don't do that, because in that moment, as much as I love you, like, I only know one way to respond. You know what I mean? And not saying that's right, not saying that's wrong, not saying that's fair. It's just, it is the reality. It is what it is. But I can honestly say with how she's worked through that, it's also helped me to kind of look at how I respond. So now we're both Leos and we came at each other like lions for a long time. You know what I mean? It's not to say that we perfect, like we don't still, have our lion and lioness moments, but they're a lot less first and foremost. And even in those moments, they're recognizable. And I will say, like, that in me has come from recognizing that in her. And like, again, that moment of, she likes to say, like, some of this is me. And as much as I hate to hear it sometimes, because it's like, yeah, so what? That doesn't excuse it. It is understanding, like, yo, that's really where she's at, and that's really what she's recognizing. And look, patterns don't get broken overnight. You know what I'm saying? We know that about us. You know what I'm saying? As men, we gotta know that about our partners. And so, there are obviously through what you women have all gone through in the vision, there's so much growth and so much improvement. But you guys are still women. You guys are still y'all. Y'all still have, y'all foundations of your own life experiences and all that. So, it's been beautiful to see her work through that, but also having to have the patience of knowing, like, I can't expect her to be perfect all the time now that she's going through interventions. Because part of me, when she first came out of that, was like that. Like, all right, you done did all this. You didn't went through all this. Don't slip up. Don't have a moment. Not one. Yeah. Because as soon as you do, I'm gonna be like, yo, see, that's what I'm talking about. All that nonsense in Maryland you was doing, and here you go. Like, that's everything from 2-3 years ago. What you was doing out there? Yeah. But some of that had to be me understanding, like, all right, like, I see the work more than I have to respond like that. So let me have some patience. So I will say it's also worked well in helping me also. Again, my connection with the Lord ain't what her connection with the Lord is, but I'm working on it, and I'm working on it because I kind of see what it looked like on her side, and I ain't gonna hold you. Part of me is like, I want a little bit more of that.
I want some of that.
Yeah, right.
Right. All right. So listen, guys, this is what I need from y'all. A quick elevator pitch. A woman comes on the elevator and it's like, yo, my wife is dope. She is hosting a conference in Baltimore, Maryland, March 26th. I already gave that foundation. You got the date and the time, right? Why would you say that women should be at this conference on March 26th in Baltimore, Maryland?
Mine.
Oh, you telling us to do it?
Yeah. Right now,
Okay.
Right now, I'm like, hey, sir, how you doing?
Right, bro. Your wife.
No, you talking to the ladies. Are you talking to the men? Who are you talking to?
So I'm on the elevator right now with you guys, right? Okay. Hey, how you doing, sir?
You doing, Mel? I'm good.
Tell me why I should go to this conference.
Sophie, man, you really need to go to this conference. This is a women's empowerment conference. You have this is 3, right? Yeah, I'm just making sure I got the number right. You have 3 beautiful, spiritual, God-fearing, loving wives who have put in the work to help you not only find yourself, have a deeper relationship or commitment with God and the marriage union itself, to completely uplift women, not to down any woman or to any man, to uplift women, their relationship, to empower you to even know yourself even more. Come to this conference. I'm going. I'm telling you right now, Sophie, I'm going because I'm married to a woman that I've seen change from night and day from putting in that type of work. And she's going to be there, one of the lead speakers, and she kind of sexy too. So I'm going.
Well, thank you. With that note, I'm signing up. All right, Vernon, switching to you. Act like I'm a dude. Hey, what's up, man? How you? How
you get the female? I gotta get the dude. The whole time he was going, I was preparing my pitch to talk to the female. I was saying.
There you go. You gotta
the whole time. I got it. I know exactly what I'm gonna say.
Yo, what up, yo? How you?
My man, listen. I don't know what you're going through. I mean, I don't know what your place is in your relationship, but I can promise you, like, there's a conference going on in Baltimore, my man. And if growth and acceptance and communication or any of those things is something that you're looking for in your wife, or you just looking for something dynamic that helps y'all relationship, and I promise you helps y'all both grow, send your wife to this conference, my dude. There's 3 powerful women that's going to be there They're going to talk about spiritual growth. They're going to talk about financial growth. They're going to talk about growth in relationship. But even more than that, my man, nothing more than anything else, it's an opportunity for your wife to go with her homegirls, get some empowerment, get her out the house for about 2, 3, 4 hours, and she's going to come back better than she left. There's nothing better than that. So get it in.
Yo, thank you, champ. Sound like I'm sending her ass there.
My man.
Well, I am so blessed for being able to host the couples room in the King's Court. You guys were dynamic. I am turning it back to the original host, and I am done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all so much for being with us on today. As Ramon and Vernon said, y'all ladies, y'all got to be in the building. They spoke about the change that they see in us, and we're bringing the same energy, information, experience to this conference that we received in order to cause the shift in us. And something Vernon said that I loved is that our change, and it's just how marriage works. When we change, we shifted them or showed them a different way of doing things. Same thing. If a man starts to shift and handle situations differently, then it is reciprocated from us. Okay, I see he's changing, and I know that this is what this conference is going to do. As a wife, like they said, you're going to leave empowered. You're going to leave with information. You're going to get some healing work done on that day. And when you go back to your home, your change will start shifting the environment of your home. And so I definitely want to encourage each and every one of you. If you have not purchased your ticket, if you're on the East Coast, you definitely need to be there. But if it's people in Texas or whatever, you want to get a flight up in the air, go. It is going to be well worth it. I promise. It's like one of these things that are priceless. Like I think about the money we spent to go through the program. I would do that over and over again because of the impact that it has had on our marriage. Now, you know what I'm saying? So that's going to be my spiel. And Vin, I'll let you take it from there. Or Sophia, one of y'all.
I feel so confident, and I could be, as a spiritual life coach and a licensed clinical therapist, I could be a little funny with money, and God is helping me with that. I'm so confident in this. I almost want to tell people, if you leave and not feel anything, I'll give you a whole refund. Like, that's how confident I feel. And people have always said, you never say that. No, I'm clear the work that we have done. And the one thing that's so exciting about this conference is that this is not just somebody teaching something from a book or a class. This is life experiences that we have made it through, and then some still working through, but we just have different tools and skills that's showing us how to still show up and be who we are. That is a different kind of conference where I'm not just reading some psychological terms that Maslow said. Like, no, this is Sophia Cox, this is Venice Moore, this is Candace Tux with real life experience that God is just using us as the vessel to get it through to you. So I'm excited. I'm excited. And you need to be in that building because this conference is for you, but it supports us too. I can't lie about that. I leave every workshop, every session feeling more fulfilled. So I'm hyped because I know I'm going to get something from hearing my sister. Sometimes I even hear myself like, oh, I heard you, girl. You better do that tonight. But you will walk away with a different experience that is unmatched. Go ahead, Ben.
Ooh. And on top of all of that, you're going to eat good. You're going to laugh where you might pee on yourself or just a little bit. Like, it's not going to be just all intense work. You're going to hear these experiences. You're going to be fed, literally and figuratively. And at the end of the day, you're going to laugh. And you're going to leave out feeling the empowerment of a woman and feeling so proud to be a woman and a committed woman, whether you're in a relationship or engaged or married. You're going to really know, like, wow, I love who I am and I want to continue to work on being her. So
I just want to say this too, in case just, is this, I got to ask this. do you think single women would get anything out of this as well? I gotta ask that because I know it's called Married Chicks, but knowing what you guys do and how you guys promote and how the vibe is and who you guys connect with, is this something that's just for married women, or do you think women that are single who may be looking, for how they grow and become the woman they need to be in a relationship?
I want to add this, that is definitely the conference is for married women, engaged women, and those that are in committed relationships. But to answer your question, any woman will benefit with what's going to go on today. If you've ever been in any type of relationship, you will benefit from being at the conference. And a matter of fact, we won't know if you're married or if you ain't married if you showed up. So, if you registered and you like, I just want to be in the building because I want to feel empowered, uplifted as a woman, and so that I can attract the man that I'm looking for, absolutely, you can come and register and be in the building. And I want you all to know that these gentlemen that you heard on today, we have a special segment placed in this conference where Vernon and Ramon will answer personal questions that you have. And the reason that we wanted them to join is because they can give you an understanding from a male's perspective, from a husband's perspective. So when you're not understanding your husband and I'm trying to communicate with him, but he keeps responding to me like this, or he keeps, it's infidelity present and he won't stop. Help me understand, because sometimes we just feel like he's not hearing me. And maybe because that disconnect is present, they can bring a bridge to help you understand your husband. So yes, y'all, it's gonna be a piece in there with these two gentlemen where you're gonna get to ask your questions to understand your husband a little bit better. So that's why we wanted to have them on today. And y'all saw how honest and vulnerable they were, and just speaking about their truth and what they've been through. But yeah, they gonna bust it wide open at the where you really can dive in and we can really be transparent and give it to you. So that's why we wanted y'all on today. The virtual option has not been discussed just as of yet. So right now we are I'm gonna say no, because that's not an option now. So y'all gotta be present, and it's just something different about that present experience too. So,
but thank you, Mrs. Witherspoon. We will consider it in our, next ones to come. But we wanna be able to, even with a mask on, we want to be able to touch your hand. We want to be able to hug if you're comfortable with that. We want to be all up in your space.
Yeah. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for hanging out with the Couples Lounge. Thank you, Morris. Thank you, Coxes, for your presence. We holding space for that. I hope I said that right. We holding space for him. So thank y'all again. Y'all heard what the husband said. He spoke to the Vern spoke to the men, Mon spoke to the women. Hopefully y'all felt them, and y'all will get your tickets today. And y'all can go to Eventbrite and just Google Married Chicks, and it should come up. It's gonna be in Baltimore, Maryland, or it's everywhere out there. The link to register, and we'll make sure we put the link back in again.
And pass the word. Even if you can't come, I'm sure you know some ladies that can benefit from it. So pass the word to these sisters so they can be there.
March 26th, it is going down. The first
ladies,
Married Chicks conference is gonna be fire. Y'all, we got a DJ. So y'all know it's turn up time at the beginning.
I'm dancing to nothing in my head. Like that DJ is gonna be everything.
Yeah, y'all should hear some of the songs on my playlist. I got America's Tupac and Snoop. America's Most Wanted.
I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm looking forward to some seafood, man. I ain't never been to Baltimore. I heard they got some good seafood. I want to eat
crab cakes, baby.
Yeah. What? I'm ready to see my boy V, man.
Yeah.
I ain't holding against me a punk Giants fans because them Giants are some trash.
Listen,
how they do.
I'm not even going to entertain that because, like I told him at the beginning of the season, come February 13th, you're going to be in the same seat I'm going to be in. And you were. So I appreciate your family.
Right?
I love you. But I will say, fellas, real rap, man, if you have a chance of opportunity, weekend with the lady, send your lady. If you can, come with your lady. Y'all can rock out downtown Baltimore Harbor place. Y'all can have some good food.
And y'all can have the hotel. We have blocks. So even though that is just for the women, you could meet her in your birthday suit soon as she done. Cause she gonna want some release. So she wanna give you everything that she just got for 6 hours. So
absolutely,
that hotel is there. The men could do some things because there will be men there. Just not at the actual conference. So that's available. You can make a weekend of it. We've met a couple of people who said, you know, we doing a weekend getaway. And we just gonna be stopping at the conference. We're gonna go eat good, and then we're gonna get some QT time and leave them kids at home. So you could play around with this.
Yeah.
Yes, and understand. Getting out. Me and mine definitely getting out. So fellas, y'all can beat us out. We'll be at somebody's. You know what it is. So.
So turn it into a trip. You can, like they say, it can, okay, y'all, we finna get off here. It can look however you want it to look. If you just a woman and you say, I need a getaway, I'm just gonna get away by myself. Even if you live in Baltimore, I'm gonna get a hotel. I'm gonna do the whole works and I'm gonna stay at the hotel. Or you can make it a girls' trip. It's 2, 3, 4 of us, wives, engaged women, committed women. Or you sneak your single friend in too. We coming. We got a table and we coming. Or you married and you like, babe, I need this. Come roll with me. And y'all come to Baltimore. Or if you in the area, come on. We're gonna go together. I'm gonna get my work. We're gonna get us a date night. If you never been to an African American museum, it's close by. You can make that trip. That's one of the things I really want to do. I hope I can somehow get it in. I said, how I go to Baltimore for a whole year and never go to that museum. Never thought about it. But Intervision had me all. But it can look however you want to look. Right. You want it to look. So thank y'all again. Again, the Married Chicks Conference, March 26th. You're going to have Sophia, Vin, Candace, Ramon, and Vernon all in one building. And y'all felt the energy today. So come on out. And we got it live. Our DJ is live. Our mistress of ceremony got some energy. So yeah, y'all. It's just going to be a spiritual experience that's going to bless your marriage, but most importantly, bless you. Already. All right. So we'll holler. See y'all next Saturday. We out.
Bye.
Appreciate y'all.